All right, we're going to install the new VR80 trigger in the VR80. We've already removed the safety and we removed the VR80 trigger group out. And so this is what we're starting with. This is the lower trigger shoe. And we want to make sure that our spring is facing forward like this. We kind of just set it in with the spring forward and we let the trigger shoe fall through the hole. If your trigger shoe is the wider one, because we are going to a wider one, you'll have to remove the trigger shoe, put it in the hole, and put the trigger shoe on underneath. Okay, so I'm just going to line it up. So I'm just going to take an Allen wrench that comes with this thing, with this trigger set, and I'm putting it in the one side. It just makes it easier for me to put it in. And now here's the screw that's going to go on the outside. So I'm going to put this in this hole, and I'm just going to kind of line it up with this over the Allen wrench on this side. I can feel it's already going in. So I'm going to take it down until it's just barely firm at all. It's just got a little tension on it. Okay, so now I can take this out on this side. So now here's the screw for the other side. It has a lock washer that you put on first, then the washer. Okay, now we're just going to, it should be lined up because we put that in and we just lightly tightened it. So we're going to turn this and see that it wants to go in. Once you get it all the way down, you want to tighten both Allen wrenches and just firm it. It doesn't have to be crazy. And you want to make sure that it's all free. It feels good. We've installed the trigger shoe. Okay, so now we want to do the hammer, but first we have to put our safety back in place. Okay, so on the VR80, the detent is up here. So normally you would take it off on the bottom of your grip on an AR. So right now we're just going to slide it, and you can see where the detent hole is, so it goes to the same size as this. All right, so we slide that in, and right now the trigger's out of the way because it's down. Okay, there's a little bitty ball bearing. That's the actual detent. Falls in the hole. And then we have this little spring. Okay, and we have this little set screw. And that set screw, just push it down on the spring and turn it in. Hopefully. Okay, there it goes. Okay, and you just do it till it's flush. So it's out of the way, but it actually goes until it stops. Okay, so now that's all functioning. So that's out of our way. All right, so the safety's now in, and we still got to put the arm on this side for the safety, and then the little screw. So let's do that real quick. That is this one. Same as our screws. That's weird. Okay, make sure to firm that up a little because that is your safety arm. All right, and now that's moving freely. We are good. Okay, and I would take it off safety when you're screwing with this still. It gives it more play. All right, so now we are going to install the hammer. So in order to install the hammer, you're going to keep the two legs on the springs back behind the trigger. And that is, let's see how that works out. And you want one on each side of the trigger. It's not easy to see in here. I hope I didn't make these too short, but you know I probably did. Okay, so there's one on each side. Now I'm going to push this forward. I'm going to take an Allen wrench, and I'm going to push that forward, and it went in way easier. Okay, and that went. So you got to put quite a bit of forward pressure. So I'm pushing forward and down with my thumb, and you don't want to do it too far down, so you just look through it and see. Now I'm spinning, and I see that it's spinning on the other side. So now we're just going to go straight to the other side with the next screw.
So you're pushing forward
and down
at this point.
That's right.
Okay.
And it takes some pressure. It's a pretty hard spring, you know. So it takes a little bit of pressure. We're definitely going to have some people bitching at how hard that is to put in. Okay, so now I'm going to do the same thing on this side, and I'm pushing forward and down a little. The other screw does help it go, and this one just happened to go right in. It doesn't always go that way. Okay, so now I'm putting it a little bit firm. Then I'm taking two Allen wrenches now, one on each side. Okay, and I'm going to turn it, and I'm going to firm them. It doesn't have to be crazy. Okay, and we're good and free now. Okay, and then you'll see the two legs. Give me your little pick thing. What do you? Okay, you can use. So now you want to move your springs so they're even. This one's fine, and so I just want this one over a little bit more. And it really isn't hurting anything, but I just want it to look even. And Okay.
So they're just sitting on top of the
They're sitting on
trigger
top
string.
of that, yeah, but I can't see that. Okay, there we go. So now I pulled it up, and I can push these two off to the side. Okay, and that's fine. We just finished installing the VR80 trigger, and everything seems to be functioning properly. We're putting it under, and we're checking it for how it resets. That's the main thing that you know a trigger's working or not is how it resets. Okay, so now I want to make sure that the safety is proper. So now we're going to put it on safe, and we want to make sure we got no pull. We're not going to accidentally fire this trigger, and take it off safe, and we know that it's going to fire. Okay, now the other thing is it won't go on safe when the trigger's fallen. So see that? So your trigger's in the fallen position, should not go on safety. When we cock it back into the set position, we can now pull it on safety. So that's functioning perfectly. So right now we're going to remove our hammer just to show you how you would take this out, because you got one screw fighting another screw. Now, a lot of times it's not a problem, but sometimes the one ain't going to release, okay? So we're tight on one side, and now I'm going to take out this side. Okay, so now I loosen this up, and so when we go to remove the other screw, a lot of times it's going to spin in there. So we're going to stop that with this tool that we're providing with our triggers. Okay, and that tool is just a screw, a nut, and a washer. Okay, and now what you're going to do is we're going to screw this one in. Once we get it down a little ways, we're going to tighten it in. And just till it's firm, and you might have to put the Allen wrench. Is that the right one? Or is that, this is it right here? All right, so now I got my Allen wrench here. Again, we provide this so that this little tool works out for you. Okay, so now I'm going to tighten this down. Okay, so now I can remove the other screw, and it should come right out then, because it's being held on the other side. Okay, so that screws out. So now for this screw, we hold it with the Allen wrench again. Now we're going to loosen it, which is this way. Okay, and as soon as we know that that nut is loose, let's see. All right, let's see. Okay, so now that nut is loose. So we should be able to now just unscrew this side. If you got to put a little pressure to hold the bushing in the middle, you do. Okay, take it out, and now it's out.